Hey everybody, welcome to this video. My name is Nino Pino. This video is going to be an introductory beginner's guide to Phasmophobia, in which we will cover some initial preparatory settings that you have to take care of, kind of be mindful of. We'll go over the menu, we'll go over some basic game mechanics, and some steps you might want to take before you start your investigation in game. So this video is for absolute new players, people who have not yet played their first game or have just done the training or maybe just one round online or solo. So if you're an experienced player, this video might not be for you. Maybe there's a few things in here that you might want to find useful, but I'm guessing most of them you'll already be familiar with. Do check out one of the other videos though. And guys, before we continue with the video, I just want to remind you I do stream on Twitch every Tuesday, Thursday, and one day in the weekend. So I'll put a link of that in the description, and I'm also on social media. I'll put those links there as well. If you like that kind of thing, if you want to follow me, drop a like or follow. That would help me out a lot. But other than that, let's get back into the video. So the first thing that happens when you load up the game, you'll see not this screen actually, but probably something like this. Right, so don't panic. This usually just means that you have to look to your left and click the whiteboard. That's your main menu. On the left, you'll see your stats, your level, XP needed for next level, and your total money. On the right, you'll have your daily challenges with a timer when they reset. This is for extra cash when you do contracts, so it's a nice little touch, but I usually don't pay attention to these at all, and I don't think most people do. All right, you've got your play, training, item store options, and so on. Most of this is going to be self-explanatory, but we'll go through the most important things. Setting up. Go to your options, audio. Make sure that you've selected the right microphone and test your voice recognition. The game uses voice recognition for the ghost interaction that you have, because the ghost can actually hear you in this game, and for your local and radio chat with your teammates if you're playing in a team. So very important to have this working. You can test it out. Give us a sign. There, the game tells you that they heard you. All right, it works. Test this out before you do anything else. You can try out the graphics, PC settings, and all that. This is all up to your taste. So I'm going to assume that you know how all this works. One thing that you might want to consider looking at is the push to talk. I have this set on, otherwise every time you just talk, you will be speaking into the environment and also towards the ghost. This might not always be the best option. You sometimes want to kind of not be able to be heard ever, so I have it on push to talk, and only when I push I want to be heard. Controls are set up default. Yeah, you can change that if you want. I'd leave it as it is by default. Item store, this is where you buy your items. Most of them are going to be unbuyable for you at the start because you won't have any money, so you can just go in here, take a look, read what they are, what they do. Once you've done your first couple of missions, you can come here and start buying stuff. And you can do this also from a lobby, so you don't have to go back to the main menu, basically. Remember that a couple of these items are already owned by you, and you can never lose them. You've got the EMF reader, the flashlight, the photo camera, the UV light, the video camera, the spirit box, and the ghost writing book. These are base items, so even if you die, you will not lose them. Keep in mind, one of the reasons there is this mechanic of buying items is because, indeed, when you take items with you on a mission, you die, you lose these items. So keep that in mind when going in. You don't want to take all of your items with you, probably. All right, and just let me show you around the lobby area. This is where you'll be loading in, and this is also the area where you'll be waiting with other people. The only things of note in this area is basically, well, this side you've got your main menu whiteboard where you can just go back to and kind of click around and get to where you want to be, play, and so on. You've got these little lockers right here you can play around with. Lockers in game just mean you can hide in them to hide from the ghost when it's hunting. You've got this little mini game where you can pick up your basketballs right here and throw them in there. There we go. And you've got your pictures right here, and these will show your recent 6 photographs you've made in game with the photo camera. They'll be displayed right here. It's a nice little touch right here. Other than that, not much. You got some of these items you can pick up and throw around. just for pastime. Some people like to stack these in game, for example. For example, you know, that's fun. It's fun. Anyway, so that's basically the initial lobby where you load in the main menu and all the relevant kind of buttons. One thing to maybe mention is the training. If you're absolutely new, you might want to do that one, but I would recommend that the best training is to get into a lobby with people that are friendly enough to kind of show you the ropes. That's going to be a much more useful training than this training is, but it can never hurt. So go ahead, do the training. When you're ready to start playing, you can click play right here. And as you can see, the game by default loads into a lobby. So is this a multiplayer first game? Well, sort of, yes. It always kind of assumes that you're going to play online in co-op mode. But what you can do to play privately is basically just create a private server right here. It'll have a secret code that you can share with people and they can join by clicking join private game. They can enter the code right here. There's also a difference in servers, EU, US, South America, and Asia, depending on where you want to create your own server or join other people's servers in. This is going to be relevant. Otherwise, it doesn't matter too much. If you want to play a private game, you create a private game. And right here on the right, you'll see your equipment list. Here you can add more equipment that you have. If you're starting out, which I assume you are, you won't have all these items. You'll probably have none of these. You can't add anything. But when you do add your first item, you can add it by just clicking the plus button or remove it, and you'll see that it will be added right here. You can also buy items from the item store, the equipment store right here. You don't have to go back to the main menu. On the left, you'll see the number of players. We're doing solo right now, so we'll just see myself. You can change your avatar by pressing change, and you can select your jobs by clicking bottom left on jobs. The map will show up, and when you click on one of the jobs, you'll see the name of the map, you'll see the difficulty, that's intermediate, and you'll see some recommended team size, thermometer, and the location of the map. So recommended items is thermometer and the location is small. There's a little description here. It can give you an idea of what you're working with before you load in. The difficulty is relevant in the sense that we have 3 difficulties. We have amateur, intermediate, and professional. The difference between amateur and intermediate is that there's some minor other differences that we will get into at another point, but the biggest difference is that there's a timer at the start. For amateur, there's a timer of 5 minutes. For intermediate, there's a timer of 2 minutes. And for professional, there's no timer. This timer will count down to 0. As long as this timer is counting down, the ghost will not become aggressive. It will not start a hunt. After it hits 0, a hunt becomes possible. This doesn't mean, however, that a hunt will happen right away or is certain. It's still dependent on probability and some other factors, such as sanity. When you found a map or a contract that you like, you go select, add all the items that you want, ready up, and press start. Alright guys, I'll leave the video there. I hope you found this useful if you're a new player. In this video, I gave you a little bit of an overview of some preliminary settings you need to think about before you start up your first game. Hopefully that will be useful for you as an introduction to the game, what to think about, what to take into account, how the menus work, how the servers work, how the buying of items works, and stuff like that. In the next video, we'll go into what to do when you load up your first game of Phasmophobia. What are the things that you need to look at and remember when you load in a new game for the first time? What are some core and basic mechanics? And we'll go into that a little bit more so that you can get a better idea of how the game actually works when you go on a hunt. All right, I'll leave it there, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As a reminder, I do stream on Twitch every Tuesday, Thursday, and a day in a weekend. I'll leave a link to my Twitch channel in the description and also a few of my social media channels if that's something that you like. You'd help me out a lot if you follow those. And of course, if you like this video, you found it helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to be notified when my next video goes up. All right, guys, thank you so much and see you some other time. Bye-bye.